गेट डे द नेक्स्ट शॉर्ट हैंड हाउस में आपका स्वागत है। ट्रांसक्रिप्शन नंबर 498, वॉल्यूम 23, स्पीड 80 वर्ड पर मिनट। Sir, I should like here to mention that the Railway Accidents Committee has referred to the fact that derailments are more on the narrow gauge and meter gauge sections. Now it has also been pointed out that the narrow gauge sections over a period of 5 years have incurred a loss which works out to about rupees 22 crores. It is the total sum invested in the Chittaranjan locomotive works. If we are running the meter gauge and the narrow gauge lines at a loss, and if we are not able to maintain satisfactory efficiency of operation which the public have a right to expect, I would like to ask the minister whether political consideration should come in the way of or closing down the meter gauge and narrow gauge lines. I know that the question will be asked, what would the public have by way of transport if meter gauge and narrow gauge sections are closed down? My answer to that is that this has got to be a phased program. If we are not in a position to operate them at a profit, the railways themselves can run bus services. It is always open to the railways to expand their field of operation. I may mention, sir, that recently I had been to the United Kingdom and I had stayed at some of the hotels run by the British Railway Administration. They were extremely well run and well conducted hotels. It shows that the British Railways are not bound down only to running of railway transport. It is open to the railway administration to run transport services in those areas where meter gauge and narrow gauge lines were working and which had to be closed down because they were uneconomical to run. I would suggest to the railway minister to have a full-fledged inquiry conducted into the efficiency of operation of the meter gauge and narrow gauge lines. Sir, I would like to go on to another aspect about the efficiency of working of the railways. The Kunjru Committee has referred in detailed terms to the work of the Railway Inspectorate. I know that the Railway Inspectorate is working at the moment under the Ministry of Transport and Communications, and they keep very close liaison with the Railway Ministry. Unfortunately, the committee itself mentions that the work of the inspectorate has been unsatisfactory at all times. Para. I feel, sir, that the time has come for us to suggest to the government that the inspectorate of the railway should be placed directly under the president in the same way in which the auditor general functions today and the attorney general functions today. There is no reason why the inspectorate should be under the Ministry of Transport and Communications. If the Railway Inspectorate is placed directly under the President, it means we have to recruit separate staff for the purpose. I am not happy with the present arrangement under which officers from the railways are seconded to the Railway Inspectorate. A question may be asked whether the Railway Inspectorate can discharge its functions if its members do not have practical experience of the working of the railways. I may here quote the British example. I was told that in the United Kingdom, the Railway Inspectorate is staffed largely by army personnel. What is required is not that a person should have worked for so many years in the railways, but a person who is alert and who has a critical mind. It is open to the government to see that a separate cadre is recruited for the Railway Inspectorate. Unfortunately, the Railway Inspectorate has not been functioning properly, and that is why so many collisions and derailments have taken place. That is why the rolling stock has not been properly kept, and that is why also the tracks have not been properly supervised. The report contains many details about defective maintenance of tracks in the various railways which they have investigated. I hope that the minister would reveal his mind about the future of the Railway Inspectorate, because it is the Inspectorate alone that can be the watchdog of the public and see to it that the railways maintain a satisfactory rate of efficiency of operation. Sir, some of the previous speakers made a reference to the need for reserving 25% of the posts in the railways for the children of railway servants. I am behind none in paying my tribute to the loyal work done by the railway servants in the various zonal railways, and to the rectitude with which many of them have discharged their duties. But I must confess that I am not in agreement with the distinguished chairman of the Railway Accidents Committee and his colleagues when they make this recommendation. if 25% of the posts are going to be reserved for the children of the railway servants in the railways, what about the army? They are the people who have sacrificed their life for the country.